When I was a kid and we went to the movies, we didn't go for the movie, we went for the cars in the movie.
And a film that's become a real cult classic is Two-Lane Blacktop. Monty Hellman's 1971 movie is a serious car film. It's basically about two guys drag racing across the country. It's a simple story, actually it's not even a story at all, with some incredible cars in it. And it starred two non-actors, Beach Boy Dennis Wilson and Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, multi-Grammy winner, and one of my favorite musicians of all time, Mr. James Taylor.
One of them Dodge Chargers, let them go by.
Not today.
Thanks so much for doing this.
Thank you.
That was your acting debut, wasn't it?
It was. That was the beginning and the end of my acting career. That 5 weeks.
Did you not like making movies?
It was just completely astounding to me. It was bewildering.
Do you remember the car? When was the last time you actually saw that car?
Someone did purchase the car and brought it backstage at a show that we did.
But you didn't drive it?
So, no.
Would you like to drive it again? We have the actual car.
No kidding, it's here?
Yeah, we have it here. We have the actual car from the movie. Let's take a look. Let's open the door. No peeking.
Yep, that's it, all right. Oh my God.
The other star of the movie was a 1955 Chevy Gasser. This is one of the three that were built for the film. It features a tunnel ram 454 V8 engine, a fiberglass front end, and of course, the primer gray paint job. Not the prettiest car to dance, but definitely the fastest.
I honestly never thought I'd see this thing again.
That sounds like a song. Actually, your music played a big role in my career. One day I sat in my apartment and I said, if I stay here any longer, I'm gonna wanna get nice things. I've gotta go to California where the business is, okay? And I walked up my apartment door and I headed to California and you came on the radio. And I was about 20 miles outside of Boston, and I heard that line, 10 miles behind me and 10,000 more to go. And I thought, oh man, that's pretty much what it is. But that always stayed with me. That's why I've always felt a certain kinship.
Just up and left.
I just up and left. Let's show people what the engine is here. It's a 454, and I guess it's stroked to 496, so it makes about 600 horsepower. Was this about the fastest car you'd ever driven at the time you did the movie?
No doubt about it.
Now, did you wreck one of these? Did you crash one?
I did. It was the final shot.
Right.
The cameraman was in the back. He was filming me doing runs down this abandoned airstrip in Virginia. When they left it for me, for some reason, they backed it up a little bit so that the chase car could follow him or something.
Right.
They left it in reverse.
So the car went tearing backwards?
It sprung to go forwards, and it just jumped up and down like a giant having a tantrum. It just ripped itself to pieces.
So are you anxious to get behind the wheel again, see what it's like?
I am.
Is it like riding a bike, you think? You just pick it right back up?
I think it's like riding a bike or driving a car, maybe.
Yeah, it's like driving a car. That's right. What did you think when you saw the movie?
Oh, I never saw it.
You never saw it?
No, I couldn't stand it.
Well, you don't like to watch yourself?
That's part of it, yeah. I don't like to hear myself or to watch myself, but...
Really don't like to hear yourself? See,
well, you know, by the time I finished an album, I've heard it so many times that I'm pretty much there.
Well, you about ready to relive the experience?
I think so.
Make sure we're not in reverse. Remember that story?
That's right.
It's very funny to be in the exact same car. I don't know why it just seems so...
It seems so familiar to me. You know, it's funny. I sort of have muscle memory about this car.
Yeah?
Because I did spend a long time driving.
How did you even get involved with this movie? Were you looking to do a film?
My manager, he had his eye out. And the producer, I think they'd seen my picture on an album cover or something and were curious. So it all just sort of came together.
But you know, you were good in the movie. I mean, you seemed like a guy that was focused on his car, and that was pretty much his whole life.
I suppose there were people in those days who actually did pick up a living by racing automobiles.
So did you use stunt drivers in the movie, or did you do your own driving?
We did all our own driving, although Jay Wheatley, the mechanic, he may have driven in a scene or two. And of course, Dennis Wilson was a Beach Boys,
Right.
so they were car guys.
Right. What was your first car, do you remember?
Yes, it was a 1968 Cortina GT,
Oh, yeah.
an English Ford.
Yeah, yeah.
Had a 2-liter engine and a 4-speed on-the-floor transmission. I picked it up in London in 1968, drove it all over the city for a year while I was with the Beatles.
That's right, you were with the Beatles record company.
I was.
Yeah. Were you one of the first artists they signed?
First one.
Oh, you were the first artist they signed? Wow.
It was very short-lived,
Yeah.
but it was great. So what was your first car?
My first car was a 34 Ford pickup truck. I got it when I was 14 and figured I'd rebuild it so it'd be ready to go when I was 16. But I used to have nightmares. What if I can't drive a stick? What if I'm one of those people that I'd wake up like, shaking and, Did you ever get the sense how this movie affected other people?
I never had that sense, although people said it was a sort of a cult classic, but until I was given an award and Bruce Springsteen came and played a song of mine, Mill Worker, and he mentioned that in his opinion that was the best automobile movie ever to be made. So,
Really?
It evidently meant a lot to Bruce.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
This is definitely a dream come true, driving around with my favorite musicians in one of my favorite movie cars of all time. Doesn't get much better than this.
And first of all, let me thank you for coming. I really appreciate this. This is great fun, my friend. You were a big part of my life when I was starting out. You remember the last scene in the movie when the film burns? Well, we should do that. Let's reenact the last scene. I remember everybody's looking straight ahead.